Hi guys, it's Hot Mess Mama coming to you live Wednesday, the 18th of, what the hell month is it? September. It's the 18th of September. So an interesting thing happened to me today. And I wanted to throw this out there because I think it's very interesting. So chores, let's talk about chores. I put a post out on my social media pages ages ago, and I thought it was a really brilliant idea that this mother had. She had a little sticky piece of paper, and she said, for today's Wi-Fi password, you must take up the garbage, pick up your laundry, walk the dog, or something like that, right? So the kid had to do these 3 chores before she was going to give him the Wi-Fi password so that he could play, Xbox or whatever. And I thought that was brilliant because even when you try to entice your children with if you do that chore, I'll give you a piece of candy, or if you do that chore, I'll give you, your weekly dollar or whatever it is, your chore money, your weekly allowance. Sometimes that wasn't enough of a value to your child. So you had to find another thing that was valuable to them that you could give them in exchange for them doing their chores, right? So I thought that Wi-Fi password thing was brilliant, and I wanted to tuck that away for a time when my kid this might be useful for me and my child, who would become, like every other kid in the world, addicted to video games. So and that was eons ago, and I got this return, this other mother on the gram had put a comment in my post that said, this is disgusting. You're using your child as child labor, or something like that. And I was like, is she serious, or is she trying to make a joke, right? So I go over to her Instagram page, and it's literally this what is the name? What does she call it? I don't remember what her handle was, but it's anti-child labor. And her entire page is all of these infographics about how parents, don't be lazy, do your own damn things instead of putting your child to work for child labor, you're being cruel. And then another one was, I know that I disabled my comment, I've disabled the ability for anyone to comment on any of these because I don't want to hear about how you have your kid doing chores, because I don't want to be able for you to spew your propaganda, and how no matter how you slice it or how you describe it or how you explain it, it's child labor and it's wrong and you're abusive and you're abusing your children for making them do chores. And like I said, it was just infographic after infographic after infographic. And her whole page was all about anti-child labor. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't equate little Johnny with picking up his underpants that are on the floor as child labor. That's just me. And maybe you feel differently. Maybe you feel like some parents impose labor on their children that they should be doing themselves, and that there's some things that are inappropriate for children to be doing as a chore. But it made me think, and I was like, I'm only asking for my child to start I'm doing these chores in an effort to try to instill in my child a sense of responsibility. You need to pick up your own clothes. You need to put your own clothes in the hamper. Right? When you're done with your dishes, you need to put them in the sink, right? And I guess all these chores are very age appropriate, right? And at some age, maybe it's appropriate for them to walk their dog. They have to take care of other members of the family, right? Or at some point, maybe my husband's going to want to teach him how to mow the lawn, and that's going to become his chore, is mowing the lawn. Or you know what? You contribute to a good portion of the garbage. So maybe you should learn to take the garbage out and help out mom and dad. So I don't think of those things as child labor. I kind of think of those things as responsibility, not training, but helping them learn how to be responsible, helping them to learn new skills like mowing the lawn, helping them to learn about, sharing space and being a part of a family community of helping each other. I just kind of feel like there is value in those things, and I don't see them as child labor. Maybe this mother had a really bad experience or something, but I really don't think taking out the trash or walking the dog, or maybe even doing your own laundry at some point, is child labor. I'm not asking my kid to cut down a tree. And at some point I'm going to ask my kid, once he gets his driver's license in like 10 years, to pick up his sister from school. Is that child labor? Like, if you give them like an allowance, they're learning that it's learning the value of hard work, and that you can get, paid for your hard work, and then you save your money. Like, I feel like there's a lot of benefit into giving your kid chores. And I think that's interesting that we've always called it chores, because that makes it sound like a chore, right? Should we call it something else? I don't know, but I was just really taken aback and floored by this mother's like vehement belief that chores are child labor. I feel like they're character building. I think that they also help you, like I said, learn responsibility, learn teamwork, learn family, learn community. You learn new skills, you learn time saving, you learn money saving and earning. I feel like there's a lot of benefit to them, but like within reason, of course. But I really don't think like asking my kid to bring his dishes to the sink is abusive. And at every age, there's a different, like a chore level, right? An appropriateness. It's age appropriate. So like what chores are appropriate for, and when did you start do you give your kids chores, first of all? And when did you start giving them chores? And let's say you start giving your kids chores at like 3 years old. What kind of chores are appropriate for them versus your 7-year-old, versus your 10-year-old, versus your 12-year-old, 14-year-old, 16-year-old, 18-year-old? They're going to grow in maturity, and so their chores are also going to grow accordingly with them. So that's my thought on that. And I realize like I'm in uncharted waters, and I'm just learning myself about how to strike that balance with having your kid have a chore, and what chores are appropriate and what rewards are appropriate. But it kind of made me think like, wow, there's some parents out there that might find these things as child labor-y. I don't want to discount that, but maybe, that's not the way that I was brought up, but maybe that's their line of thinking, and I don't really get it. And I don't mean to discount you if you feel differently about that. But I think more to it, what I was most struck by was this woman's she was vehement and very attacking, and to the point where she even said on her Instagram page, I have blocked anyone's ability to leave comments here because there is no excuse, there is no justification. I don't want to start a discussion. You're wrong. So that's why I'm here starting a discussion, because I want to know all of your views. Let me know what your thoughts are, and let me know when you started chores, and what chores are maybe age appropriate for different ages, or maybe you don't do chores. Maybe you have a different philosophy, or maybe you do something different that helps to instill all of the same benefit. I don't know. You let me know. That's my thought nugget for the day. Now, if I can only get my kids to pick up their underwear or inside out their socks. Why is it when they come home from school, they rip the sock right off of their foot and leave it inside out? And then so when I do the laundry, their socks don't ever get clean. And then all I do is spend my time insiding out socks. And it's very challenging for them to inside out a sock. And I get at this age, at 3 years old, it can be complicated, insiding out things. But I think that's a good training tool, and I don't think that's a chore. Do you? Yikes. Maybe I need to rethink this whole thing. I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have a great day, guys. Hot Mess Mama, out.